Okay. Hello. It is Thursday, May the 8th, 2025. Welcome to the third live stream on making my gear. Um, before, you know what? Um, Before we get started here, um, I just wanted to give a slight, just a little update about the ESP32 sampler project. It's going very well. You'll be happy to know it's going well. Um, Next video, I plan on uh, hooking up the microphone and trying to um, record audio data into memory. That's what we're going to do next video. And I've also got some plans to make a slight modification to uh, the sampler, which I'll talk about in more detail uh, in the video. What else? I went to a guitar and synthesizer expo on the weekend. Uh, Mainly wanted to just go see if there was anything, you know, that maybe might spark another idea. But it was mostly pedals, which is fine. I'm a guitar player, so it's fine. Um, but yeah, it just wasn't, I don't know, wasn't like, you know, didn't change the world or anything. It was, you just got to meet the sales reps basically for individual companies. And in some cases, you met the people who actually own the company, but it was pretty small as well, which was kind of disappointing. And there was like one synth guy and a local music store. They were selling stuff. So it was kind of, I don't know. Yeah. But the synthesizer guy was kind of neat because he had, I forget the name of the company off the top of my head right now, but he had like a keyboard interface, and then it was like a touch screen, it looked like a Euro rack um setup, and he had like a touch screen so he can make patches and then play them on the keyboard, which was kind of neat, but I mean, am I gonna do something like that? I don't know. It was just neat to see, um, sort of, that kind of vibe, where it's something a little different than you know the normal stuff you see. Other than that, that's pretty much it. That's what happened. That's been what's going on. Um, yeah. So I'm next week. Just going back to the sampler project for a second. The videos will probably be Wednesdays for that. And then I'm still considering maybe something more, I know that people liked the guitar amp build that I did, the little practice amp. So I might do more of those. I might do more bass fuss pedals or something, or do some passive builds. I don't know. I'm still figuring out what I'm, like the way that I want to release videos and stuff. But um, yeah, but I think this Thursday live stream thing is going to be something that I do all the time because I like doing it. It's fun. Even though, like today, I'm not my normal jovial self. I'm a little tired today, but that's okay. Anyway, let's get this keyboard back together. And I've got my Commodore monitor just sitting on the floor here. I'll bring it up when we're ready and we'll hook it up. Um, I didn't end up buying a cable, but I've got like a 5 pin. I modified a MIDI cable to do the job. We're just gonna hook it up with a breadboard and hopefully it works. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but fingers crossed, everything's okay. So yeah, let's get going on reassembling this thing. And there is a fruit fly on me, and I just got rid of it. Okay, let's move me out of the way here, and we will get assembling the VIC-20 keyboard. All right, just gonna go. Let's go in this corner today, left corner. It's a left corner kind of day. All right, so what do we need to do? We need to put all those little plastic, these guys, the actual thing that presses the keys, back into here. So that's the first thing we'll do. And I'm kind of thinking maybe a pair of tweezers might make things a little easier. Yeah, just for getting them in the right direction. Really hope this works. Yeah, see, like, yeah. I think maybe after this thing is complete, I'd like to do like more like making beats live or something. I think that'd be kind of fun. You know, when you're making stuff, it's difficult to find time to actually write. Because the biggest fear is that I make all this gear and then it takes me a year to get my writing chops back. There's always like a period I find when you're writing where like the initial batch of stuff is like super crappy or just like really mid. So, yeah, I'd like to get over that hump before we start actually making songs with all this stuff, you know, or beats or whatever I end up making, or experimental music or whatever the heck I end up doing with all this stuff. I've also been getting ready to. I've got sorry, I've getting my stuff in order so I can. I've got some plans to do a little bit of possibly anyway, possibly do a little bit of DJing. So I'm getting my stuff together, making a little custom controller because I've got want to do cassettes instead of vinyl. So if anybody's got any hot tips on where to get like good deals on cassettes still, let me know. Because the cassettes, I tell you, man, I tell you, they're hard to find. They're hard to find the good stuff. It's everybody's asking so much money. The resale value of stuff now is just like on old stuff. It's just wild. That includes vinyl. It's just like crazy expensive. I find, you know, it's fine. It's just kind of disappointing, like when I first started collecting vinyl, it was like, this was a while ago, obviously, but you'd nobody wanted it. Everybody wanted CDs. And of course, like, Napster was big at the time too. Like it was just exploding, it was starting to really pick up steam. And so like, yeah, you could buy vinyl really cheap. You could buy like a they were like 50 cents each, or like $2, which is, and now you can't buy anything. It's hard to find anything of decent quality for less than, you know, $30. It's crazy. Which I mean, which is good, I guess. It means people are buying music, and but I don't know. It's just hard to keep collecting when the price is so crazy. Oh, you want to hear something funny? You want to hear something crazy? I was at a local thrift store, and they have. Uh, I live in Canada, and they have this chain called Value Village, and it's like it's like a big chain of thrift stores. I think they have them in the States too. I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, they have like a glass case, where they put like really valuable items, like super valuable, you know, or whatever, things that they think they can get a premium for. Anyways, I'm looking through the case, and lo and behold, they have a frickin' Casio SK1. They had an SK1. And so I look at the price tag, and they were asking $100 for it. $100. That seems wild to me. I remember back in 20, oh, I don't know. I must have been 2017, 2018. I bought one at a different thrift store for $7.99, and now they're $100, or at least according to Value Village, they're worth $100. Just unbelievable. And I mean, you go on Marketplace around here, especially, it's like people are asking a premium for these things. It blows my mind. Blows my mind. And it's just a crappy sampler. But, I guess they're rare. So that's what they ask for. Do I remember how I think that went on like that. So let's get this on there. So we're doing pretty good right now. So let's get this guy on. Anyway, it just goes to show you like how crazy things have gotten in terms of price, which is fine. It is what it is, right? You can't change it. So for me, you know, it's like I'd rather just make one then, because the other thing is too is like I know that I know how it works then, and I know what to do to fix it if it breaks or whatever. I think that's how that went on there. That seems right to me. All right, let's put all these let's put some little screws back in, and then I'm not going to put them all in because it might not work. right? So we might as well. But you know what I realized is I don't really have to. I can put the keys back on and just leave them on. You know, if it's not working, it's not working. So we'll find out because it's going to be an issue with those little pads if it's anything, I would guess, if it's still not working correctly. So I'm not going to put every key on here, or I'm not going to put every screw, just enough to kind of hold it in place. I think, I don't know, maybe I should just put them all in. I don't know. Maybe I'll put them all in, whatever. I think I'm putting them in the right holes. Seems like it. Oh, you know what? I gotta solder these things too. I'll do that. I'll do that in a minute. It's hard to tell where the screws actually go, but whatever. I think it'll be fine. It seems like it's these slightly bigger holes, so I'll just keep doing that. Almost there. Awesome. Two more. Hmm. Feel like it could be that one and that one. Yeah, that seems good. All right, one more. And we'll solder these connections back on. And we'll start putting the keys back on and the springs. And yeah. All right. Great. All right, let's solder these guys back on. boy. There we go. One. Okay. All right. Solder this guy. I forgot my fume extractor. Oh well, whatever. Just two connections, right? Okay. Whoa. Great. Okay. Great. Now I'm gonna have to I don't remember which key goes where. So um oh boy. Well, I guess I'm going to actually I have a picture of the keyboard here. So I'm just gonna look on the screen. Let's see. Okay. So we need a spring for each of these keys. So let's do the big function keys first. So we need, there's 4 function keys. These springs are going to be a real joy getting them pulled apart. There we go. And hopefully they work. There we go. Okay. So F1, where's F1? Do we have an F1? We do. F1. Okay, so we got a little spring there. Uh-oh. I feel like it's the second one. I feel like I did this on the freaking thing. There we go. Awesome. Look at that. Because then, yeah, that one sits. Yeah, okay. We're good. I'm good. I'm good. Awesome. Right. And then this one goes. I don't know why they did that. That's interesting. Great. Okay, now we need our back button. Just started doing this. Okay. And then catarl. Oh, we need a spring. Yeah, these little springs. And then we got shift lock. Here's shift. And run stop. Yeah, these get tangled really easily. Not fun. There we go. Okay, we need to shift lock. That is. Uh-oh. Where'd it go? Oh, there's the Commodore button. Shift lock. Here we go. Okay. Great. What's that one? Commodore button. Just saw it. Right. Is that the way it goes? I'm gonna guess it goes in the same way as the shift button. That's a good guess. Okay. Now, I'm gonna wait to put that one on. Let's do the numbers, I guess. So 1. There's 3. There's some weird whining noise outside of my door right now. And I don't know what it is. 2. Sounds like somebody's cutting their lawn. So if you hear that, sorry. Where's number 4? 9. There's 4. There's 0. Get that guy out. There's 7. Is it me? Oh, there's 7. 8. Which is the one? Oh, that's L. No, this is a different key. Right. Okay. Well, we know we have minus. We need plus and equals. We got a pound sign. Do we have plus? This. That. That. This. This. There's plus. Plus. Minus. Pound. Clear. Yeah, they type fine. That's good. And insert delete. Let's get some more springs out. Okay. And then restore. Now I'm guessing that it's probably in the first one here. And then the up button. And then we can probably start doing the keys, like the letters. That's M, not W. T. Where's the T? Y. U. I. U. I. O. P. O. P. At sign. Star. Sweet. Cool. And then ASD. I guess I could do this too, right? Like put all the springs on there, make sure I have enough springs and I didn't lose any. That would probably be a smart choice. I really hope I have all these springs. Hopefully I didn't lose one. I'm very close to the end of my supply. Uh-oh. Oh, I think I have exactly the right amount. Perfect. I didn't lose any. That's good. Okay. Let's do that. And then we go ASD. Here's the S. ASD. F. G. H. JKL. Nice. Okay. We need brackets. Now, which bracket? I think it's these two. Because these ones. Let's do the rest of the letters first then. So I know for sure. ZX. That I'm putting the right brackets on. C. VB. CV. B. NM. NM. Okay. Then we need, I think it's these guys. Yep. We want comma first, comma, period, backslash slash question mark. Okay. And we've got the other brackets. So, oh, Did I do that right? Yep. Yep, that's right. Okay. I mean, I guess we'll find out when we hook it up to the computer, right? Equals. And return. I'm guessing it goes in the middle. Yep. Okay. Shift. Great. Cursor. Up and down. Cursor. Boom. Yay. Okay. Great. Turn off my soldering iron. Oh, we need to put the space bar. I forgot about the space bar. Now, I think it's probably wise to do that part first, and then oh, oh, I think it does. It goes like that. Oh shit. Okay, and then yay. Great. Okay. Now, I guess I can put it back in the top. Let's put it back in the top. Might as well, because as I said, I probably won't take apart the keyboard again. That's the hope, anyway. Because if I do anything, I'm going to be removing, yeah, I'll be removing the soldering again. I'll be removing the soldering again, and I will be, yeah, that's about it. Okay, let's get this screwed back in. I was thinking of if this doesn't work for whatever reason, I can do I can use like that and if it's like the if I assume it's like the contacts on the key presser thingies, um I could just like maybe put a little bit of conductive paint on there to help it out. That could work. Okay. That might work if we have to do this again, which I really, for the love of God, I really hope. I really hope we don't have to, because 3 hours almost of doing this. You know what I mean? 3 hours. It's been invested. 3 hours of my time. It's almost 1 o'clock now. Well, 20 to 1. So pretty much 3 hours almost. Although last week wasn't quite an hour. It was like 45 minutes or so. Anyway, the excitement is palatable, isn't it? Okay. We got two more screws to put in. And then I think the leftovers are for the actual case. This is one clean keyboard, isn't it? Okay. One more screw, and we are off to the races. Fingers crossed. Okay. Yay. Reassembled. Dear Journal. Okay. There's only 3 screws, which is weird. But Yeah, 3. Makes sense. We're soldered. We're good. Okay, let's get the bottom. Let's get set that off screen. And we're going to do this guy. All right, here's the main digs here. Let's leave that guy open, and let's get this. We need power. Well, we need to connect the keyboard first and the power LED. So we'll do the power LED here. Okay, power LED. And then I believe it's brown on top. This goes into here. Nice. Okay. All right. We'll just rest that there. Now, let's get the power. And turn it on. Power lights on. Great. Okay. Now, we need to set up the monitor. All right, I'm going to zoom in so y'all can see what I'm doing. All right, actually, why don't we do this first? Let's, so I got my breadboard here. Let's just move that off to the side. So I got the breadboard. I've got, I've got a 5-pin. Got a 5-pin cable here. Boop, whoop, whoop. There we go. 5-pin that we're going to use for the video. Okay. I've got jumpers soldered to the wires, and I know that I looked before I started today, I looked at the pinout of this guy, and I've got 5 volts here. I've got audio. I've got video high, video low, which apparently you don't connect, so we'll see about that. And then I've got my ground, my shield, which is connected to pin 5, or pin 2, sorry. And so let's do this. And then I have a RCA cable with breadboard jumpers on. So we're going to connect the ground to ground. The tip will be connected to video high, which will be connected to the monitor. So let's just get this set up real quick. Okay. So we're going to go ground to ground. Okay. And then we're going to go video high to tip. And then this guy gets plugged into the 5-pin back here. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to zoom in on myself here. So we're going to just set that off to the side. Let me grab my mouse. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of real-time cinematography here. So we got that. Okay. And then let me grab my monitor. Check this guy out, buddies. Look at this. The old Commodore monitor. Okay. All right. Now, let me turn this guy thusly. Sorry about the light. I got to work on my setup here. Anyway, so what we're going to do is there's a switch on the back. I can't really move the computer like around the back, but what there is there's a switch on the back that allows you to switch from the front connection, or there's a back connection. So I'm going to go with the front connection for ease of use here. And then we're going to plug this into the video. And then we're going to boot up the computer. We're going to turn on the monitor. Monitor's on. Monitor's on. Okay, now I'm gonna turn on the computer. Uh-oh. Monitor's on. Hmm. Okay. Oh, there we go. It was the ground. That's not good. Okay. So we get video. What if we do the low? Nothing. Which makes sense. Hmm. 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 Oh no. Hmm. Oh boy. Okay. Um, well, the monitor works because I've had a Raspberry Pi hooked up to it. So I know the monitor works, and we're getting some kind of output. So it's just jumbled, but it's jumbled for some reason. Oh, man. Hmm. Well, we know we have the right input. We know we have the right pin because we wouldn't get any video if we had the wrong pin, right? And the low video low doesn't work. And I've checked the voltage on. Oh, wait a second. Let's do this. So video low is the same thing as video high. So if we put it together, nothing. Hmm. I'm positive that the yellow lead here has 5 volts across it because I checked it. I checked it before I started this stream. Well, anybody out there? It's definitely not the contrast. It's definitely not the brightness, right? And it's not the intensity. Because if I mess with the intensity, we know the monitor works. It's got to be on the computer end, I think. Oh, man. Ugh. Well, that sucks. That sucks. So, okay, let me think about this for a minute. So, we know the monitor works because I've had a Raspberry Pi hooked up to it, which it definitely works. So when we know that we're getting video out of the VIC-20 because we are getting like a jumbled screen, so I think I need to get the schematic for the VIC-20 and take a look at some of the components surrounding the video chip. I mean, we can check maybe next week. Okay, you know what? This is the plan. Okay, here's the plan. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to order a new cable, I think. I think that's probably a smart move. I'm going to order a cable, like a known working cable for this setup. And then uh I'm going to find a schematic. Uh yeah. And then I'm going to find a schematic for this thing, and then we got to go through and test components around the video chip to see if it actually, yeah, if there's something wrong with it. I mean, there's things that we can do. Yeah, I got to figure out a plan of attack. I know that we should probably check the voltage at the chip and the sort of like surrounding voltages, but like I don't know what I'm looking for, so I'm gonna have to do some research. All right, well that really boils my potato. That really boils my potato. Okay. Anyways, well, I guess that's it for today, unfortunately. Yeah, I got to do some research. Anyway, let's call it a day. We did enough for today, and yeah, I'm gonna have to fiddle around a bit and not live, I guess. I don't know. I got to think about this. I got to think about what to do because we tried the high, the low video. I mean, we could try the connections in the back, but we know the monitor works, so it's not whether we connect it at the front or the back shouldn't matter. Um, yeah. All right. Well, that sucks. Okay. Well, anyways, let's just leave it at that today, and we'll pick up where we left off next week, and hopefully, I'll develop a game plan for testing. All right. Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for watching the live stream, and hopefully next week we can get this thing working properly. All right. Thanks. Have a good